My name is Carson. Welcome to Toyota Fixation, and in today's video we'll be doing a review on a 2021 Toyota Highlander. Today we'll be doing this review in the garage. As you can see, it's a little bit of a rainy day. It's supposed to be getting an inch of rain today, so we'll do a good overview review on this Highlander. We have a 2016 Toyota 4Runner with about 50,000 miles. It's in the shop right now, getting the transmission replaced. Had a failure inside. So we'll have a separate video on the Thrifty Garage channel, but figured we'd do a good review on the Highlander for the Toyota Fixation channel. So I co-host the Toyota Fixation channel with Tanner, and Tanner actually has a Rav4. I believe it's a 18 or 19 Rav4. A very similar front face on the Rav4 to the Highlander. The Highlander is essentially the big brother to the Rav4. So on the exterior, just a little bit bigger dimensions. It does have some fancy features, like on the back here. We do have a, this locks from the inside. Also on the key fob here, you can push the button and hold, and the trunk will open. So that's a pretty nifty little feature. And with the 4Runner, one thing it's very common with is in the 4Runner we've got 2 seats in the back. This has 3 seats in the back. And then we've got 2 seats in the middle here. The 4Runner has 3, and then the front obviously we got 2. So this seat's 7, along with our third row 4Runner seat 7. So this is a very close comparison to the 2016 4Runner with the third row. It is an SUV with a unibody, whereas the 4Runner is body on frame. But my wife has been driving this and says she's been enjoying it. It's just been a nice, comfy, car-like SUV. And you can change the settings on this to where it goes up higher or lower. Right now it's on the max setting. And we just have this as a loaner from the dealership, which is part of the reason we had the transmission replaced there instead of elsewhere. This is a mid to high end package, and towards the end we'll show you the window sticker. As well as we got one feature that this is totally lacking, that in fact our 4Runner has an upgrade to. And our 4Runner is essentially 2010 because they have the same technology as the 2010s. Got a sunroof up here. Nice seating, vinyl seats, not quite leather I don't believe, but they look leather-like. And then here's our back row. So this has been great for the family. In the past, we've had a Rav4 as a loaner for our family. With only the Rav4 only has 3 seats in the middle, and when you've got kids in car seats, it's just too tight when you've got 3 kids. So this is the XLE all-wheel drive. Let's get in the driver's seat. So cool thing with this, with the key fob, if you have this in your pocket, you can just walk up to the door and you hit this button right here and it locks it, or you reach and grab, and now that I just locked it, there we go, unlocks it, you can open up. It's got nice all-weather floor mats, got a cool little charging station here in the middle, so you can put your cell phone down here, nice little garage door cover, and then huge deep bay inside here. Really pretty nifty. I don't know what half these buttons mean. A little too many features if you ask me. When you're driving, you can bump this up to sport, you can have it in normal, or you can bump it down to eco, and that does have some cool changes. So your steering wheel, I notice a little more firmness with the sport and a little more looseness with the eco. And then your gas pedal, if you're going like 40 miles an hour, hitting the gas pedal, and then you change your sport and eco, the gas pedal will change. And if you're in sport and you drop it down when you're going 40, it'll slow down the vehicle, and if you're in eco and you bump it up, it'll start going faster. So it changes kind of your settings in the gas pedal. We've got mud and sand, normal, rock and dirt. Haven't really messed with that too much, haven't been off-road at all. We got traction control off, snow, hill descent control, and this is your automatic start off button. So when you're sitting at a stoplight, you'll gently press the brake pedal down, and then it'll actually pull up a screen on here, and it'll say press the brake pedal firmly, and then when you do that, it'll drop down the RPMs to 0, and then it starts right back up as soon as you let off the gas, or let off the brake and hit the gas. So it starts on its own, automatic start. Haven't quite figured out the parking brake here. I think that's just automatically engaged. I don't know what this whole thing is. That was not super user-friendly in my eyes as far as what makes sense without reading instructions on that. Pretty straightforward shifter here. A little bit disappointed in this. I noticed we got a little bit of wiggle in there, but you just pull it, lift up the handle back here, and pull it up. pretty simple. We'll go ahead and start it up real quick. So you press the brake pedal, obviously, it tells you up there. Press the brake pedal, and then you push the start to engage. And it starts up. So yeah, here to shift, brake pedal on, obviously. We go down, we can go over into sport, go up or down to change our gears. We put, what, 400 miles on this. It had just under 2,000 miles when we got it. And you can see there we're at 2368, and we'll be, wow, that sounds a little high. I'm surprised to put that many miles on. This has been our only vehicle. My truck's in the shop right now as well, so we've been driving this as our sole mode of transportation right now. I've actually done a lot of bids for the landscape business out of this. So yeah, a lot going on the dash. Right now it has all the settings on. And we'll kind of get towards the, like I said, we'll talk about the feature this doesn't have that our 4Runner does. So as far as you know, driver experience, user comfort, it's a good vehicle, good pickup and go on the road. You know, in contrast to the 4Runner, 4Runner's a little bit heavier, I assume, or it just feels heavier. This feels more car-like. It's lower to the ground. The 4Runner's a lot taller, sits off the ground. It does have some bigger tires. But this has just been a nice, comfortable car. It's a little bit low for me. My wife likes it. It's nice to get the kids in and out of. And this has obviously a lot of luxury features. We've got, you know, your cruise control, adaptive cruise control. You got your lane departure assist, and all these different modes and settings. You can, you know, do all this fancy stuff from the steering wheel here, talk on the phone, and then the infotainment system's much nicer. I mean, this looks like a brand new 2021 vehicle. Our 4Runner looks like an 11-year-old vehicle because the 4Runners from 2010 and on, the interior looks identical, nearly the same. A few little touch-ups here and there, but as far as the infotainment, it's pretty much the same. We just have the SR5, and it's just really clunky, old-school type technology, and this feels new. Same with Tanner's Rav4. If you've seen our hybrid video on the Rav4, the interior on it's, you know, up to date. It feels like it's a 2020 model car. It feels up to date, modern and new, sleek. You know, we got all these sleek body lines, and it just everything blends and looks nice. I will say I like using the radio controls. I'm not a big fan of the steering wheel controls. If this were my daily driver, I think I'd get used to this. But being a novice in this car, I like reaching over here, and this is really kind of set up for the passenger almost. These settings over here I can reach pretty easily, but these ones are, I'm just sitting back in my seat right now, and they're a little bit of a stretch. You kind of have to lean over to seek, and it's just not super comfortable. Obviously, you're intended to do it from here, so it makes sense. Oh yeah, you know, all sorts of stuff. We got heated seats, we got automatic climate control, passenger, driver, and rear. Really everything you want. So let's dive into the window sticker here. Okay, as we get out, we're going to turn the lights on. Okay, got our lights on out there. We're going to get out. It says turn lights off. I'm going to forget that. So the 4Runner, it has automatic lights. You can leave the lights on and they will automatically turn off after about 15 seconds. We'll see if they do the same thing here. But that's one thing a lot of Toyota owners complain and they want in the new 2000, I don't know when the new 4Runner comes out, here in the next few years I believe, but they want the lights to automatically turn on and off, not to have a lever like we just turned on there. We had to turn on that lever. That's the same technology as our 1983 Toyota Tercel, as my 86 Toyota pickup was, as my 98 Tacoma was, all these things that you know, that you got the twist and flick switch for the lights. And this one, they still haven't turned off yet. We'll see if they turn off. But the alarm that it gives you reminds me of the 83 Toyota Tercel. Our 4Runner doesn't ding at you like that, I don't recall. So that's interesting that I feel like that's a step back in technology. So here's our 2021 Toyota Highlander. This is the XLE V6 all-wheel drive. It's the Moon Dust, and it came from Princeton, Indiana. We're rated for 23 combined miles per gallon, 20 city, 27 highway, and I would say that's pretty accurate to what we've been getting. Here's our fuel costs. Been pretty impressed with the miles per gallon. It's not where I want it to be. Really, if I'm buying an SUV like this, I want it to be closer to 30. And in fact, Tanner's Rav4 is much closer to that. Here's all of our standard equipment. and I believe this is all just standard with that XLE package. And if we move over to here, we've got our MSRP 41,410, and then it only has a special color, and everything else is just standard. So this is pretty basic model within the XLE. So our out the door price here is $43,010. Honestly, when I spec out a 4Runner, I'm about $35,000 to $40,000. So that's a pretty expensive model here. We're pretty frugal, you know, I would maybe even take it a step down and do the less, you know, the LE package. Maybe that brings it closer. But these Highlanders really are pretty close in price range with the 4Runner, and I feel like with the 4Runner you get a more of an off-road. Basically, your compromise is: do you want street or do you want off-road? And with the 4Runner, you're going to get off-road and lower miles per gallon. And with the Highlander, you're going to get better miles per gallon and less off-road and just more on-the-road comfort. Guess what? Lights are still on. Like I said, that's a step down from the 4Runner. Definitely shocked in Toyota in that, you know, that'll drain your battery. And, you know, the LED lights are cool, but it sure would be cool to have automatic headlights in these Toyotas. My 2007 Chevy Silverado work truck has automatic headlights. I don't even worry about them. They sit over here in auto all the time. I never even turn on my lights whatsoever. The 4Runner, I usually think about it in the 4Runner. I turn them on and off. When my wife gets in, she has to remember to turn them back on after I've messed with them. But that's one compromise you have to take with these vehicles, is you're not going to get that feature. You know, honestly, I don't care. It's Toyotas. I buy Toyotas. We've had a handful of Toyotas. My first high school car was an '86 Tercel, and then I purchased for myself an '87 Toyota truck, and then I purchased a '98 Tacoma. My wife had a 2001 Toyota Echo. And then we bought a 2002 Toyota 4Runner, and then we also have the 2016 Toyota 4Runner now. We've had half a dozen Toyotas, love them, and I don't pay for the up-to-date current technology. My 4Runner, you know, I had the dealership calling me wanting me to trade it in and buy a new one, and I asked them, why would I buy a new one? It has 50,000 miles on it, and the new ones look identical to it. So there's no reason to upgrade. But that's what I love about Toyota, is you pay for the cost, they retain value, and yeah, the technology may not be you know, the most up to date and current, but everything lasts in them, and they last longer, and they just they do a good job. So here we've got a few different settings: odometer, trip. We've got our trunk height adjustment, and we've got our automatic headlights. So you can turn on the headlights. We tried that out. You flick them forward, turn on your brights, and you put the automatic, and whenever it sees headlights in front of you, it turns them off. Pretty slick system. Like I said, a lot of technology in here. Shocked that they didn't include that technology into the automatic headlights. But the adaptive cruise control, the steering, you know, it steers on its own. There's all sorts of crazy stuff. Pretty nifty little up-to-date modern car. Well, that'll finish off our review on this 2021 Toyota Highlander. Been a fun car to drive. I don't know if it's for me to drive. Obviously, if my wife drives our SUV on a daily basis, if it was her choice, she chose this over the 4Runner, we'd probably get one. If it were up to me, I like the 4Runners. I like the aggressive styling and the looks. But hopefully that was a fun video. Give you some information on these Highlanders if you're new to them. Learn more about them. And was hoping to get some reviews between this and the Rav4 and the 4Runner, but just didn't have time for it. We had this for about a week, and the 4Runner's out of the shop today, so we're gonna go pick it up and swap this back in. So it's been fun fun trying out, and we'll catch you on the next episode. Thanks for watching Toyota Fixation.